what's up guys, I'm Harshita. I'm a final year MBBS student. Welcome back to my channel. So I am a final year MBBS student and in the next 2 months I will be an intern, hopefully. So I thought that why not make a video for all the third year MBBS students, that is 1 year juniors to me, for people who have just completed their second years and don't know, like they have no idea of how to approach third year subjects and what all books to study, what all resources are available and what are free resources and paid resources, and everything for third year MBBS in one video. I will be sharing everything which I studied, I used all the resources for my third year of MBBS, and I'm so excited for this video. Don't forget to watch this video till the end, because in the middle for all the subjects I have given a few tips and tricks which will help you a lot in cracking the third year subjects and you will be like good to go. So without further ado, let's get started. So I know that the curriculum has just a little bit changed here and there in these times, especially for my juniors and my sub juniors as well. But again, it has come back. If you are from Karnataka and your college is affiliated to RJHS, you know what I'm talking about. RS4, RS5, RS scheme, everything that. So what is it exactly? So I am from 20 batch and my the scheme which is followed is RS4 scheme, and for my immediate juniors and the next 2 batches it is RS5 scheme. So according to RS4, that is for my batch, whatever it is applied, that is for third year there are 4 subjects. Now what are those 4 subjects? That is ENT, OPTHAL, PSM and forensic. But for my immediate juniors, that is RS5 batch, for them ENT and OPTHAL subjects have been shifted to final years. So for them in third year only 2 subjects are there, which is PSM and forensic. So it kind of makes like a honeymoon phase for them. But final year gets even more tough for them, because already right now I have 9 subjects in final year. But for my juniors it is +2, 11 subjects in final year. So it gets tougher and tougher. But the catch is that after two batches of juniors, right now who are in first year, that is the 24 batch, right, just now got admission in MBBS, for them it is RS6 scheme, which is the same as RS4, that is again ENT and OPTHAL has been brought back to third year. So there is not of a major difference between RS4 and RS6 scheme. The only difference is in the RS5 scheme, which is for 3 batches, that is 21, 22 and 23. Now I don't know why they did all these things. It's very chaotic for you all juniors. I know, I speak with so many of my juniors in my hostel as well, but it is what it is and we need to deal it. Can't help. Whatever the scheme is, we'll not talk about that. We'll talk about all the subjects. Now I know the ENT and OPTHAL has been shifted to final year, but no worries, I'll be talking about all the 4 subjects of third year in this video. So let's begin with the first subject, which is ENT. So ENT is also called as otorhinolaryngology, and let's start with the books, and after books I will start with the resources other than books, and after that all the tips and tricks, whatever worked for me, I will be telling and sharing as the subject proceeds. So the textbook for ENT which I used and most commonly used textbook for ENT is DHINGRA. It is a very nice textbook, and the English which is there in the book, I really liked it, and the chapters are also not too much like when I study medicine. When I study Davidson or Harrison, if you read, it is for each and every chapter there is too much of information. But for DHINGRA, when I studied that textbook, it was not too much, it was not at all like PG level or something, whatever is sufficient for UG level, it was there. The English is very easy to understand, very simple. The print is also very good. The diagrams which are there in DHINGRA are really good, and I think that textbook is the one and only for ENT, which most of the medical students for third year, they choose that textbook because it's very easy to understand. Now I don't have all the textbook with me right now to show you because I have given to my juniors, but I will be popping the images of all the textbooks whichever I am referring to here. So and also I will be putting it links in the description box below so that you can just click them and buy it yourself. The next textbook for ENT, if you are someone who is preparing for NEET PG from third year itself, then this book will be really helpful for you, and that is Dr. Manisha ma'am's EEE, that is ENT for entrance exam. That book is actually very nice. The speciality of that textbook is that everything is very simplified. The diagrams are also like handwritten by ma'am, I guess. The diagrams are very nice, it's very colorful, and the best part is after each and every chapter there are MCQs which you can solve, which is like the main purpose of that book for like entrance exam, NEET PG, FMG, all those entrance exam. So if you're someone who is preparing for such kind of entrance exam, then I guess this book will be really good for you. Moving on to the other resources. Now this video is not at all sponsored by Marrow. I wish it was. But yeah, I have paid for Marrow subscription. Plan C I have taken for 2 years, and for that, yeah, I need to watch videos, right? So I watched ENT videos by same Dr. Manisha ma'am in Marrow. She is like the absolute best lecturer which I found on Marrow. She literally made me fall in love with the subject of ENT. The way she explains each and every chapter, each and every topic of either it's ear, nose, throat, pharynx, larynx, anything it be, the way she explains it, it just gets printed inside your mind and it just never goes off. And I just love the way she teaches, and you should definitely check it out. Now this was all about the theory exams, everything for theory exam point of view, what all resources are there. But what about practical exams? We have to give end postings also. What to do for that? So there is one textbook called as VIKAS SINGH, and I have heard that it's really nice book for ENT practicals. What type of cases you need to take, how you need to take, what all examination you need to do with the patients, hearing test, Weber's, Rene's test, everything it is there in that textbook, and it's really nice. It's a very thin book, but it's very easy to understand and very precise. Now this was all about ENT subject. Let's move on to the next subject, that is ophthalmology. Now for ophthalmology, only one and only textbook I have heard, which is KHURANA, and I don't think so any other book is available which students use for opthal. I have a problem actually with this book, although I have studied from this textbook itself. It's like you have this textbook, you don't have any other option. Yahi padna hai, kya kare? You have to study. No other option left. So I had to study from this textbook. The main problem with this textbook is it's completely opposite of DHINGRA. Now DHINGRA was very easy to understand, English was very nice, simple, no heavy vocabulary, anything, everything simple. One chapter is like 2 pages, 3 pages, and you'll finish it off in like one go. But KHURANA is not at all like that, okay. As soon as I started studying from KHURANA textbook, oh my god, it gave me such a big headache. Like all the words are in medical terms, and these are the medical terms I have been like listening and reading for the very first time. Like each and every term whichever they are using to describe the disease in any topic, it's in medical terms, and I was so confused, like what is this? My vocabulary is not so good. I am someone who is pretty confident with my English and my vocabulary. It's not too good, but it's like decent and average. So I was like questioning my vocabulary because there were so many words which were so hi-fi. I have never heard them in my life. Blepharitis, conjunctivitis, I have heard it, but so many uveitis and blepharitis, uveitis, everything, keratoconjunctivitis, all those words, you know, they were getting like a khichdi inside my brain. So each and every time I used to open KHURANA textbook and study opthal, I need to keep my phone beside me in order to Google what the words actual meaning are. And each and every time I used to like face any difficult word, I used to underline it, I used to Google that word and then write it beside it so that I don't forget it, I don't have to Google it again and again. So my KHURANA textbook is all about underlining and writing the meaning of all the words because it was so overwhelming for me. So yeah, I think apart from that, I don't have any much problem with that textbook. Apart from that, it's really difficult to understand. I hope they make some other like easy textbook to study for ophthalmology. Anyway, opthal is so difficult, like it's microscopic and everything. Like you can't study a particular disease without studying the anatomy. Like for example, if you want to study uveitis, you need to first study the anatomy of uvea, and then you need to study the physiology of uvea, and then anterior uveitis, types of uveitis, anterior uveitis, posterior uveitis, and everything, their symptoms, signs, and investigations, management, everything. It's not like ENT ki one go mein ho gaya. Opthal is a little bit a subject in which you need to put efforts, and I actually did not like that subject a lot in my third year. ENT, I loved it because Manisha ma'am literally killed it. But opthal was a subject in which I struggled, for which I watched Marrow videos as well, for opthal as well. And I really liked sir videos in Marrow opthal. Especially the video which I watched on neuro-ophthalmology, it was really good. Like glaucoma also, I watched videos for opthal Marrow. It was really good. I could not complete the entire opthal Marrow in third year because it was getting too much for me, and KHURANA was like okayish for me. So somehow I managed studying opthal in third year. But I wish there were more good resources. This was for theory, and I didn't really buy any another textbook or referred any other book or PDF for practical exams because practical was like really chill for us and not so taken into seriously. So I didn't really do much for practical exams for ophthalmology. Next subject is PSM, that is preventive and social medicine. This subject is, I know it's very huge subject, but now that I have passed the third year, it feels like you can do it. Like it's a nice subject, but like you guys as well, I used to hate PSM like hell. It's like social science. It's like SST, it's like story writing. You need to write stories and stories in your exam sheet. The main objective of PSM, like exam of PSM, is to fill the pages. You need to fill it as much as possible. There should be no gaps in between, just like my mehendi. Can you see any gaps? Like not big gaps, like small gaps also you should not be there in your answer sheet of a PSM, and headings should be important, and the diagram should be important. Also the one and only, the gold standard textbook for PSM, you already know it, that is K Park. I actually liked K Park textbook a lot. I don't know why people don't like it, but I actually liked K Park textbook a lot. It's very huge, it's very bulky. You can't carry it anywhere. I know it. You can, if you are a hosteler like me who travels, monthly twice to your home and hostel, keeps going up and down, then that textbook is really bulky. I didn't buy that textbook because, no one actually buys textbooks in MBBS after like first year. The one and only period, the one and only year in which I really put my money and bought textbooks were in first year. After I passed first year, I never really went and searched for any textbook and brought it or bought it with my own money. Everything, whatever textbooks I have from second year onwards is from seniors. So that is how you save your money in MBBS. The K Park textbook, I borrowed it from one of my seniors, and as soon as my third year got over, I gave her back. And honestly speaking, the edition of it doesn't really matter. Latest edition, old edition, it's almost the same, and no one actually asks from that latest updates and sort of thing so much in exams, especially in university exam. NEET, PG, FMG, they'll ask obviously, but for RGHS university exams, they'll not focus on that. So don't really focus so much on the edition, like I want the latest edition K-Park textbook only. This is the one advice which I give to each and every junior of my college whenever they come up to me and ask, ma'am, kya karna hai PSM ke liye, how to study PSM. The main trick and the main agenda whenever you write exams is that you want to tell the invigilator or the exam, whoever checks your paper, you want to tell indirectly that you have studied from the standard textbook, that is from K-Park. So how do you do that? You study from K-Park and whatever headings they are there, like the main headings, there is one main heading and then there is a paragraph. There is one main heading and then there is a paragraph. There are flowcharts, there are diagrams. Okay, this is complete K-Park, like in a summary. This is how K-Park is. So how do you write answers in exams? You write the main heading, the same heading which is there in K-Park textbook, that same heading you write, and what the whole paragraph you write it in your own words, however you understand. Like I said, you have to write a story. You have to just fill the page. So the heading should be same. You write it in your own words. Don't write anything, don't write songs or any story, but write it relevant to that heading. This will make an impression to the exam checker that you have studied from the standard textbook, and they also study from K-Park only because that is the gold standard textbook for PSM, right? So make sure the headings are same as that of K-Park, and also if possible there are so many diagrams which I have observed in K-Park, like there is one oxidation pond wala diagram. This diagram which I really like is iceberg phenomena wala diagram. That is like signature of Park. If you draw those diagrams in your answer sheet, already you are like impressed. You have impressed the examiner that you have already studied from the K-Park and you know the concept from the core. You have understood the concept and not just by hearted it. So this is like the major trick, the magic advice which I give to all my juniors for PSM. Like study Park, the main heading should be the same. Headings by heart karo. Baki ka paragraph you can write it on your own. Just fill the pages. If you see any gaps, if you see any white blank like spaces in your answer sheet, fill it with diagrams, line diagrams, flow charts. It should not be very like neat and clean also. Anything is fine. Flow charts banao, diagrams banao. That is how you score really well in PSM for final exams. Now so many of my juniors ask me, I can't study Park, ma'am, kya kare? So the alternate textbook is Narayan, but I don't recommend that because it's very small and I have not studied that much from Narayan. I don't know about others, but I have never like really studied from Narayan. I have studied from K-Park itself. So you can try Narayan out if you are not at all getting comfortable with K-Park. Another resource for PSM, if you are really finding PSM very difficult to understand, is ARPIT. Like ARPIT made PSM easy. I don't know the exact name, but YouTube channel it's there. ARPIT made PSM easy. I have not seen the YouTube channel or any of his videos for PSM because I got it along with K-Park textbook itself. But if you're someone who is really struggling, then do check out the YouTube channel, that is ARPIT made PSM easy. I'm not sure if I'm telling it right, but I'll put the links down below so you can click it and check it out. So this was for theory exam, and for practical exam also I have studied from K-Park itself. But if you're someone who wants like a separate textbook for PSM, like the whole case taking and stuff, then there is one textbook called as RAJKUMAR PATIL. I have not studied from that textbook, but I have heard from my friends that it's a really good book. If you want a really separate textbook for PSM only for practical exams and posting stuff, then you can check out RAJKUMAR Patil textbook for practical PSM. Next we come up to the most interesting subject of third year and also one of my favorites one, that is forensic medicine and toxicology, in short FMT. Now FMT and ENT were two subjects which were really my favorite favorite in third year. It was really so interesting subjects and really makes you to keep on studying those subjects, and there is like no end to it, and you really like to start loving the subjects. So these two subjects were really my favorite in third year, that is FMT, Forensic Medicine Toxicology, and ENT. So what to do for Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, in short FMT. The main one and only textbook which I have seen everyone studying, and I myself also study from that textbook itself, and that is none other than Narayan Reddy. Now this textbook is really good. I love this textbook a lot because the examples which they give in between, the case scenarios which they give, the examples, the definitions which are there, they are highlighted, they are made bold, and the pictures also. It's nice. It's a very nice book, Narayan Reddy. It's like a novel, it's like a story. If you start studying Narayan Reddy, you want to like keep on studying Narayan Reddy Forensic Medicine because it's really interesting. Like if you are someone who has seen my study with me vlogs of third year, then you would have remembered the shark case. Like I think the person, like a case scenario which I told in one of my study with me vlogs in which I was studying forensic. Like there was one shark case in which the importance of identification of tattoo marks, it was basically, the conclusion was that. If you want to watch that video, please go to that video and see it. Like I have literally studied from that textbook, Narayan Reddy. I have showed that textbook in my study with me vlogs of third year. Do go and watch it. It's really nice, and that textbook is really good. Now there are two components of FMT, that is Forensic Medicine and Toxicology. For Forensic Medicine, I recommended Narayan Reddy, but for toxicology, if you study from Narayan Reddy, it gets a bit overwhelming sometimes, and it gets too much also, because toxicology, not too much weightage is there in the exams. For toxicology, there is one more book, that is YPR. It is like the cult favorite among our college third year students because it is written by our college principal, that is Dr. YP Raghavendra Babu sir. Now the YPR textbook is really short, sweet, it is like concise, very it's very good for revision as well, and most of the seniors actually recommend that textbook only for studying toxicology. I don't recommend that textbook for studying for forensic medicine because forensic medicine has more weightage compared to toxicology in the exam, and for 10 mark and 5 mark questions, it is just too less information. So Narayan Reddy is better, and if you have already studied and completed studying from Narayan Reddy, then you can switch to YPR, and YPR is a very nice textbook. You can use it for revision as well, but the toxicology part in YPR is really good, and it's really good for by hearting also. Like toxicology is basically all the poisoning stuff, methanol poisoning, snake bites, scorpion bites, everything. It's given really good. Now this was also for theory examination point of view, what to do for practical exams of forensic. Now I really didn't do anything like extra textbook I didn't buy for practical exams of forensic. The practical exam of forensic actually depends from college to college or from state to state, because in our college it was like certificate writing, and everything what we wrote in our forensic medicine record was the same thing which they asked us in practical exams. So there were like 5 stations and 5 certificates we need to write, like post-mortem certificate, death certificate, and cause of death post-mortem report, and were like all the specimens which you need to take from the crime scene, everything. And also there was sexual assault cases also, certificate, like what all examination you're gonna take from the rape survivor and also the rape accused person, both of them. So these were like all the certificates they were gonna ask in the practical exam of forensic, and we need to write it. And plus there were specimens also, like spotters, like they would have kept weapons and we need to identify that weapons. They would have kept, like in our college there were like 3 specimens of snakes which are kept. We need to identify that snake, and also the toxin which that snake produces, we need to identify that. And there were like a lot of plants also kept, like poisonous plants. A little bit photos also kept to identify what type of like homicide, what type of murder which has happened, and what is the cause of death, all those things we need to, like, this is all like the forensic practical exam which is conducted at MBBS level for us, and obviously after everything there is Viva, that is the oral exam. They are going to ask questions and we need to answer them, and that's basically it. So yeah, this was all about third year, all the 4 subjects which were there for us in third year, and the 2 subjects ENT and FMT, like they were literally my favorites. Forensic medicine and toxicology is actually very interesting for every person, I believe, because we all have been grown up seeing CID and Crime Patrol, and it's actually very interesting to study also. If I have missed any of the books or resources or anything such like that, I will be mentioning in the pinned comments and also in the description of this video. So don't forget to check out the description of this video. All the links of all the books and also resources, all the video links also will be in the description. So do check it out. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll meet you super soon in my next video. Until then, stay happy and keep smiling. Bye.